Hillary Duff is like the love of my life, my first crush. Always and forever, I will love Hillary Duff. Welcome everyone to this exciting episode of the Moderately Interesting Podcast.
Episode 6.
I'm your host, Aaron.
And I'm Mitch.
We got a lot to talk about today, man. We're going to be going over our questions and answers that we had this week / last week. We're going to be talking about how Spider-Man, after like a week after we talk about it, Spider-Man's going to be swinging on to Disney Plus, it seems like.
I think we're starting to see our influence in the world.
Yeah, exactly. We got some Netflix news, Cobra Kai, Witcher. We're going to be talking about some new rumors that have been coming out for the MCU. Finally, we're going to be talking about the brand new mentioned How I Met Your Mother spinoff. So we've got so much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the backseat? Hey now, play the theme song! Okay, welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So our questions, what questions did we have last week?
We left off on what are your top 5 favorite fantasy swords, Mitch?
Right. You want to know those?
I do. That's
sure?
why I asked. Yes.
Okay.
I do. I must.
All right, I'm going to do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, so number 5 is Needle. From Game of Thrones. And won't go too deep into it, but I liked Arya. I thought she had a cool story.
Arya
Stark. She became one of the Faceless. She was an assassin. She basically brought justice to her house in the background, killing Frey, whatever his first name was, Filch.
I'll find another.
Cool. It was a cool history, cool background. She was gifted to it by her bastard brother, Jon Snow, and then just kind of went from there.
Spoiler alert, wasn't her brother.
Wasn't really her brother. It was her cousin. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones, then
tough titties.
Sucks. Don't watch the last season. Okay. Number 4.
Number 4
is from the Stormlight Archives, and it is Adolin's sword, and I don't remember the name of his sword, but I know it's his
Shardblade.
Shardblade. Yeah. Okay. So number 3 is Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Very cool.
And if I remember correctly, I don't know if it's canon or not, he had to make a kyber crystal bleed.
Yeah, that is the current canon for lightsabers.
Okay.
In order to make a red lightsaber, you have to kill a Jedi, take their crystal out of their lightsaber, and make it bleed to turn it red.
Just making sure that it's kind of like a Horcrux, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and that will lead into my number 1. I'm going to go to number 2 first.
Oh, right.
Number 2 is Longclaw, which is Jon Snow's sword, Valyrian steel.
Out of Valyrian steel.
It really just takes out those. What are they called? Nightwalkers.
Nightwalkers, yeah. I mean, they're zombies.
The zombies, yep. Dragon glass or Valyrian steel. That'll do it.
Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think the dragon steel or dragon glass and Valyrian steel would kill the walkers in Walking Dead?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, they use hammers and stuff.
That's true.
Walking Dead, so I think Valyrian steel would do a much better job because you wouldn't have to sharpen it, right?
I mean, what if you had a hammer made out of Valyrian steel?
That would do pretty good too, probably.
Yeah. What if you had a shield made out of Valyrian steel?
Now we're talking.
And then you were Captain Westeros.
Captain Winterfell.
Captain Winterfell.
The Winterfell soldier.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into crossover territory.
There we go. Now we're doing the crossover.
Listen, Marvel and Game of Thrones. Come on. You know what we want. You know what the people want.
I don't know if the people want this, but I want it.
We'll make them want it. All right. So that's my number 2 is Longclaw. I like Jon Snow's story. for the most part. I like where it comes from the Mormonts, if I remember right, from Jorah Mormont's dad, because Jorah was an idiot. All right, so going to my number one. And which comes from a universe which I have probably spent more time reading, watching, studying, enjoying. The Sword of Gryffindor.
The Sword of Godric Gryffindor himself.
Godric Gryffindor, forged by the goblins and mostly used to defeat Voldemort.
Yeah.
I mean,
killed the basilisk.
I think it led to the elimination of 4 of his 7 Horcruxes.
The diary.
It led to they killed the basilisk, which the fang was used for the diary.
Oh yeah, the fang was used for the diary. I'm wrong already.
But
jeez.
Because he killed the basilisk venom was then it was then like forged into the blade itself. So the blade was then used to take out the ring.
Yeah, which was a Deathly Hollow.
Right.
It took out
the locket.
The locket, Hufflepuff's trophy,
and Nagini.
Yeah.
Hufflepuff trophy was killed in the fire. No,
that was the
basilisk fang. They went back down into the Chamber of Secrets and
gosh dang it! I keep getting it wrong with the basilisk fang.
See, I told you I know this stuff.
Yeah, you do. I thought I knew this stuff, but I have not read this for a while.
Yeah, so it killed 4 of the 7. Right? There's 7. It was Harry the 8th. Now I can't remember. Okay, so there's 8. But
you've got Harry, you've got the remaining 6 because he made 6 Horcruxes because the last one was in his body. The last part,
right,
of his soul was in his body.
And Harry was an accident.
Hey, I don't know.
Happy accident.
I don't know if William James would. I don't know if William James would call him an accident or not.
Well, they weren't alive to
we can't
argue
ask
it.
them.
So
yeah,
it's too bad.
Get the resurrection stone. We can ask them.
Yeah, if we ask J.K. Rowling, she might come up with something contradictory. So we'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
That's my top 5.
Okay, I love it. Really good picks. And you had a question for me last week.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Yes.
And I think we should move it to next week.
Okay.
Sorry, listeners. I asked Aaron last week what his favorite Jedi fighting style was. And since next week we're going to be talking Star Wars.
Next week we're doing our Star Wars episode for May 4th.
Mm-hmm. May the 4th be with you.
Exactly.
So we figured we'd save that one for next week because it's fits the theme.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. And that's fine because we actually have questions from listeners that we're going to get to today.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're going to just jump right into it. Real quick, though, if you guys have a question that you want to hear us answer on the episode, go ahead and find us at Instagram at Moderately Interesting Podcast. Once again, at Moderately Interesting Podcast. Send us a message through there asking us a question, and we'll eventually get around to answering it. Asking it. That's dumb. That doesn't make any sense. Come on.
Yeah. So what questions do we have this week?
Yeah. So we're going to start off with the question from Ace, who wants to know, who would win in a fight, a wizard or a Jedi?
Okay.
So a couple things to take out of here. It's a generic wizard. So I don't know if we're talking like Gandalf. Are we just talking like a wizard from Dungeons and Dragons?
Harry Potter.
Are we talking about Harry Potter? Yeah,
that's exactly what comes to my mind.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
And so let's say pick a character from the Harry Potter universe.
Anyone? Sirius Black.
Okay. Yeah, good.
That's my champion.
He's a wizard. Okay.
Should have died. Okay.
And I'll pick Anakin Skywalker.
Oh my gosh, the chosen one.
The chosen one himself. That's what I was. If we did Harry Potter, we could have had a chosen one versus chosen one.
I think we should do that. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take out. I think
Sirius Black return. Go Harry Potter.
I didn't choose you. Wrong wizard ball. I think that Sirius Black and Obi-Wan Kenobi would be a good.
That'd be a good
fight. But I think we need to go chosen one.
And then what if you did like Dumbledore versus Yoda? That'd be pretty cool.
But what if you interpreted the prophecy wrong and
you got Neville Longbottom instead?
And you got Neville.
I guess it would depend what year Neville Longbottom we're talking about.
True.
Oh,
and
sorry.
what year Anakin Skywalker too.
You got second year Neville Longbottom. Oh yeah, I'll take 9-year-old Anakin Skywalker in that fight over 12-year-old Neville Longbottom.
Just run him over with a pod racer.
Now this is pod racing. I'll try disintegrating Neville. That's a cool trick. Yeah.
Cool. So let's go Anakin.
Anakin versus let's try to make them similar ages as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna and I think that's gonna work out really well. We're gonna put Harry at 17, Deathly Hallows. I think that's when he's at his best, clearly.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna do episode 2, Anakin Skywalker.
Okay.
So Anakin's a little older than Harry.
Is this like post Voldemort, or Voldemort's still alive?
That's a good question.
I think it should be pre Voldemort or pre Voldemort's death, because now they're both riddled with annoying visions.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's fair. Do we want to do like beginning of episode 2 Anakin and beginning of Deathly Hallows Harry? Is that how we want to do it, or do we want to do
kind of each at like the top of their game for the most part?
Yeah. So here's the thing.
As a teenager.
Yeah. I would probably go. Oh man, this is kind of interesting. I think I would go with Harry actually.
Okay. Why is that?
I think because at this point Anakin is more focused on Anakin's always focused on lightsaber dueling.
Mm-hmm.
But like his actual telekinetic force powers, he's much more limited in knowledge on that.
Right.
And even then, Anakin's not even like a top 5, top 10 duelist.
Right.
So like
both his limbs.
Yeah. But like, yeah, like he could not take on, like, strictly from a dueling perspective, he would not be able to beat Obi-Wan. He would not be able to beat Yoda. Would not be able to can't beat Dooku. Like what Anakin is a very good Padawan, which is just a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
Harry's a wizard. He's 17. He's a full-fledged wizard at this point.
Right.
He's definitely not the best wizard.
He can apparate.
He can apparate. He can, he's no Dumbledore. He's no Voldemort, but he's on par with Hermione.
Right. Neither of them have dabbled in the dark side yet.
Yeah, I guess technically that's true. And I think if we did do like post episode 2, Anakin tapping into the dark side, I think that might make this a more.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I was gonna say more interesting, but it's already an interesting fight. I think especially not having any dark side abilities at this point, that hurts Anakin.
Yeah.
I would. I kind of hate to say it, but I would go with Harry. I think really, Harry can just do Levius Corpus, right. And I think Anakin would have a hard time with that right there.
Well, I just think that Harry's go-to spell, which is Expelliarmus, how do you deflect that? And then it comes down to, does a lightsaber deflect a spell?
I think it would just like absorb spells. But like not all spells. Like only the spells where like energy is actually like coming out of.
Right.
So like I think he could potentially absorb like Expelliarmus. Mm-hmm. Or like Levius Corpus, that just happens. Like
right.
There's not like a hand that comes out and like grabs him or anything like that. It's just like, oh no, I'm upside down.
Mhm.
Like I do think he could like potentially like absorb with his lightsaber Avada Kedavra.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm making these up as we go along.
But we all know Harry's not going to use Avada Kedavra.
Yeah, Harry's not. Yeah, and I think that's the and I do say that's probably the biggest weakness against Harry
Mhm.
is Harry will probably won't kill Anakin, and I think Anakin would have no problem trying to kill Harry.
Right. But I agree with you. I think Harry would win because I just don't think that there's enough.
Okay,
There's too many spells that he can use.
yeah, Harry has a large arsenal, but now I'm gonna kind of play devil's advocate for a second.
Uh-huh.
What if, like after a couple tries, Anakin kind of was like, okay, I can't narrow the gap with my lightsaber. I have to use the Force, and
Mm,
he does force pull Harry's wand away from him.
yeah.
If that
Then
happens,
then
that's
Harry is literally useless
Harry's useless.
because a Jedi isn't useless without his lightsaber.
Yeah, and Harry, as seen in Book 7, I mean, all wizards are useless without their wands.
Right.
So
That's a good argument.
that's a good counter argument, right? Yeah, I think so.
And as far as the lightsaber goes, Harry's probably not going to be very close because he's going
Yeah,
to be doing distance attacks.
I think if Harry is smart, and that's a big if because Harry isn't really that smart.
He's not the smartest.
No, but Harry should Astio Firebolt, get on his Firebolt, fly around, and just shoot spells at him.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, and I was like, oh, what if Harry did the Cruciatus curse? And I don't think that would go well. I don't think Anakin can be Imperioed. I don't think the
Mhm.
Imperious curse would work on Anakin, and I think if you did the Cruciatus curse against Anakin, that would just make him use the dark side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
If you bring dark magic in, then it might unleash the dark side.
and I feel fine saying that because Harry does use the
He does in the 5th book
yeah, he does,
on
and
Bellatrix.
he uses them again in the 7th.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. He used Imperio. I don't think
yeah.
he ever used Avada Kedavra, but
No, I don't know. He never used that one, but he's definitely used the Imperious
he's used
curse
the other
and
ones.
Cruciatus. Yeah,
Yeah.
he should be in jail. Lock up Harry Potter.
All right. So on the condition that Harry is without his wand, Anakin wins.
Yeah,
If Anakin can force pull it from his hands,
yeah.
and if
If not,
Harry,
yeah,
if not, then Harry takes
I think
the win.
so. I think
All
so. Yeah. Good question, Ace. Thank you for that one.
That's our wizard versus Jedi question. If anyone has any other Jedi or I guess universal cage match 1 versus 1 type of things, let us know who you would want.
Yeah, exactly.
Give us a champion.
What do you guys think? Who would win Harry Potter versus Anakin Skywalker? Let us know. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Why? Why not?
We got it right. We
Okay.
got it right for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Moderately right.
Well,
moderately.
I mean, at the very least, this topic was moderately interesting.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question here from Elon Musk.
Okay.
He says, "Hey boys, I love your podcast. What do you think it would take for me to become Iron Man?"
I think $4 billion.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah. Come on, Elon. You know this.
Yeah. So quit beating around the bush and just
do it.
yeah, maybe invest in Dogecoin or something and
Buy AMC stock too, please. Really raise that one up.
yeah, get that one going.
Get that one. If you could just jumpstart that one, Elon, I would be much appreciated.
All right, so yeah, thanks Elon for the question. Get it, just
Wow,
do
I
it.
can't believe it. I can't believe Elon Musk actually asked us a question. That's amazing.
I mean, did he? He did. Yeah, he did.
I mean, that's what you said.
Yeah, I mean, if Elon were to ask a question, that's what he would ask.
That is what he would ask.
So,
All right, I got
All
another one. I got another one from a listener.
yep.
Lord of the Rings is 20 years old. Should it be remade now or never?
I don't think it needs to be remade, to be honest. Do
Uh-huh.
you?
I don't. I don't. Yeah, I kind of think that's one of the ones that should probably never be touched again.
No. Maybe some spin-offs, but I can't even, there's not really
If
there's not a need.
if they do remake it, it would have to be super different than what we got already, because what we got is, to quote James Blunt, "This is what we got, and what we got is gold."
Hmm.
So
Yeah, thanks,
yeah,
James Blunt.
that's a deep cut right there for that one.
Hmm.
That's a deep cut. I mean, people are probably like, James Blunt, what? You know, the guy who was like, "You're beautiful."
Yeah,
He had
I know who that
another
is.
hit song in the early 2010s, and that was "This Is What We Got," and what we got is gold.
Hmm. Well,
And that's what
I mean, he nailed it, so
that's what Lord of the Rings is. This is what we got right now is Lord of the Rings,
it's gold.
and what we got is gold.
So did they cancel the Amazon production of that?
I mean, well, no, the Amazon show is, they're calling it Lord of the Rings, but it's like a completely different spinoff.
Oh, okay.
It's
So it's
gonna,
not a remake.
yeah, it's not a remake. It's gonna be in the Second Age, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Which Lord of the Rings is in the Third Age.
Okay.
So, yeah, I say no. I don't think we need one.
No.
I don't think we need one. I don't think one needs to come out for a very long time, if ever. And if they do it, it should be something. I don't know how they would remake it. Like even truer to the book, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
They've
don't
been
like.
pretty good with it too. That's the
Yeah, and I was
problem.
gonna say it's not like Lord of the Rings is not faithful. It's not. It's not like it's not a faithful adaptation.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that I'm like, yeah, I think we made it. We nailed it. We don't need to go back to that. Yeah, I don't know. Like what is another thing that like definitely should not be remade?
That should not be remade.
Yeah, it should not be remade. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Uh,
Remakes, you got to think like big universes.
yeah, I mean, like I don't think there's a whole lot that is like untouchable. If I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest, but yeah, Lord of the Rings is one. Back to the Future, Star Wars is another one. We don't need to remake those ever.
Yeah. I kind of
Uh,
feel like it needs to be something that's like well established and or something that's been based off of a book because then because you have something you're going off of that
oh,
can be remade.
well, like here's like another one that like probably is like a weird one that I'm gonna say, like Wizard of Oz. Wizard
Right.
of Oz, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, those don't need to be remade. We got to remake Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and like
It was
nobody cares.
caca.
Yeah, nobody cares. Like that one's like not the one that is going to be
It's not
remembered
Gene
forever.
Wilder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just think that's kind of like it falls in that of like, yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I would say another movie that was like this is a weird one too, but Holes. That
yeah.
had a great that had a great movie to book adaptation
hmm
because I think the author directed it if I remember correctly.
he helped write the screenplay for it.
Okay, so he had a hand
He
in
had
it.
a very
Yeah.
hand in that.
What are
Yeah.
some things that can be remade?
I if
Just
like
rolling off the top of your head.
when it comes to remakes, I think the perfect example is Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Like there was an original source material that was beloved, and then they made sequels, and each of those sequels have varying different qualities. And when they decided to remake that, they knocked them all out of the park. They took them more seriously. The technology really helped make that series feel and look better than it ever did.
Right.
Yeah, like that for me, like that was like a good call of how to do a reboot, how to remake something.
Right.
Um,
You
I
know what I want them to remake?
what's that?
The Aragon movie.
Eric,
Like
that's
some
yeah,
movie. I want like a TV series, like
that's
Game of
another
Thrones quality.
that's another good one of they like took the book and they basically threw the book away and read the spark notes of it and made the movie. So like
Yeah,
the
if
remake,
that.
yeah, the remake could be 100% more faithful to the adaptation,
I almost feel like they just
to
read
the
the
novel. I
back of the
mean,
book.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. That's another one. Like so, like just like where they completely botched the material.
Yeah, Percy
Um,
Jackson. That's another one.
Percy Jackson. Yeah, stuff like
Harry
that.
Potter post Chamber of Secrets could be redone, in my opinion. But that's my opinion.
Interesting choice. Yeah. I like if they. I like Harry Potter is one that I'm okay if they end up remaking at some point.
Hmm.
But like
Same.
a lot of time has to pass before they do that. Like a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like I need to have a 12-year-old when,
Well,
and yeah.
they're still like raking in from the movies,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like that.
and we're
And
almost 10 years
I think that's the
past
tricky
the end.
part. Yeah, is like you can't reboot it because you're kind of killing the goose, kind of a thing.
Right. If
Um,
they reboot it, then they got to go redo everything at
yeah,
Universal
at a Universal
Studios,
Studios,
and
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, so I don't think we'll see a reboot for that for a long time.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think it would be cool. Oh man, HBO Max, get on this. Make a TV series about the first Wizarding War,
hmm,
and we see like the first Order of the Phoenix, and it's about like James, Lily, and Sirius. Like,
yeah. We all need more Sirius Black,
yeah,
TBH.
I think that'd be really
None of
cool.
this
Actually,
Fantastic Beasts garbage.
I don't really care about Fantastic Beasts, so I'm gonna be honest. But
Fantastic Beasts is right there with the Cursed Child. It just doesn't. It's not canon. It's fan fiction. That's all it is.
right, but I think that'd be really cool. Like a TV series, a Harry Potter TV series about the first Wizarding War, and like James, Lily, and Sirius are like our main characters.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Those are good questions.
Thanks. That was a good question. Do we have any other questions?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Before we start talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
this has to do with that, kind of. So at the end of Endgame, Captain America goes back, right?
Yeah.
Goes back in time, sends all the Infinity Stones back to their original spots,
Yeah.
and for the most part, and then he comes back, but he comes back
As an old
much
man.
later. Yeah, so he stays technically.
Yeah.
He stays. Probably goes back. Probably I would say around the time when he crashed the airplane into
Probably
the
around that
ice,
time. Yeah.
and kind of comes back and is like, "Hey, I'm back." So my question is, was Captain America? See, this is where the time travel stuff comes into play. This is where I get kind of confused.
Mm-hmm.
What did he change anything by staying back in time? And did
Yeah.
his did he go stop himself from flying the airplane, or was he just like living his life while his other self was frozen in ice?
Yeah. I think he was just living his life while the other one was frozen in ice.
Okay.
And I think they kind of lived a very quiet life.
He was an accountant.
I don't even think he did that. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Would you like to see what he did? Because I would. That's something
Uh,
that's kind of interesting. Unless it's just like he was an accountant and
yeah. I think
laid low.
the thing is like there's probably not like it's probably interesting to know what he did, but probably not interesting enough to have a story about it.
Right.
Because I think it's just he lived his life as quietly as possible, so that way he didn't cause any problems, like
Okay.
mess up the timeline.
Yes, that was my question. Did he do anything that made that could have changed the timeline?
I think by going back and remaining there, by virtue of that, like the timeline has already changed. So I think he's just like, I am going to try to do as minimal amount of changes as possible. So I am just going to live in this house, whatever, that house that they're at,
Right.
and like not do a whole lot. Like,
Right.
yeah. So
And then his other self would have done everything
yeah,
that we've
and then
seen him do,
yeah, and then it becomes a cycle of like eventually the loop closes where
where he's on the bench, right?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. So that was my last question, because I
Yeah.
was wondering if that messed up the timeline or could have caused any problems.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, it's a good question, but it's one that like we can only guess
yeah,
as to what really happens. But
right.
yeah, unless
All
we
right.
get the Russo brothers on at some point.
Yeah.
Then we can ask them.
Then we can grill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Next topic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last week we talked about Spider-Man for a little bit, and a couple of days after we had that conversation, we got some new Spider-Man news.
Which is?
Yeah, so Spider-Man, Sony and Disney have made a deal, and Spider-Man is going to be swinging on to Disney Plus in what month was that?
June. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Disney Plus will be the home of Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. And hopefully that means that we will get Spectacular Spider-Man back on, well, not back, but on Disney Plus.
Right. The animated show.
The animated show, yeah. After our episode last week, I did a little more research about Spectacular Spider-Man, and that is a very interesting story of how that all went down.
So with that deal, are they getting like Venom and the new Morbius show? Or are they getting those ones too, or just Spider-Man?
Well, this is all just streaming stuff. So like let me make that clear. These are just like the right to stream the show on their platform.
Right. And that's my question is, is all of Sony's,
I believe,
like all the Spider-Mans coming on, or just Tom Holland's?
I think it could be all of them.
Okay.
Like the article that I have right here, the multi-year agreement will allow Disney's streaming platform to stream titles from Sony's library, like Hotel Transylvania and the Spider-Man films.
Oh, I love Hotel Transylvania.
And then the other thing that's interesting too that this article talks about is like it's not just Disney Plus, but it's also Hulu that these things can be on too.
Okay.
Because Disney owns a majority of Hulu. So that will be... So, like, obviously, Spider-Man Far From Home and Spider-Man Homecoming are going to be on Disney Plus because that's where you watch all the other MCU movies.
Right.
So they'll want that. But, like, yeah, maybe in, like, Hotel Transylvania, that can go on... that can go on Disney Plus. That's not an issue. But, yeah, maybe something like Venom that might go to, like, Hulu.
Right.
Or, like, maybe, like, the Amazing Spider-Man movies might go on Hulu or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting because that's kind of what it's missing is Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, so Morbius, Uncharted.
Uncharted is Tom Holland too, isn't it?
Yeah, that is Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe like a lot of these old Sony movies we'll be seeing on Disney Plus and Hulu at some point in the near future.
Cool.
But yeah, I can only hope that means that a lot of the Sony shows will be coming to that as well. AKA Spectacular Spider-Man.
Cool.
But yeah, sounds cool. Congratulations, Spidey, on making it to the big playhouse of Disney Plus.
You're doing it, Peter.
You're doing it, Peter. That just means that every single MCU movie, with the exception of The Incredible Hulk, is on Disney Plus.
Cool.
So we're calling out Universal. Universal, put The Incredible Hulk on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah. Calling you out now, Sony, right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Sony, Universal. Sorry, Sony, you're doing a good job. Keep it up, Sony. We're calling you out. Keep it up.
Keep it up.
Keep it up. And Universal, knock it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, knock it off.
Knock it off.
Or Elon Musk is coming for you in his Iron Man suit.
Exactly.
That's what Elon Musk would do if he were to chime into this, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we're just speaking for Elon Musk this episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And our other news update, we've got some Cobra Kai and The Witcher news for Netflix.
Oh, cool.
Mitch, you're a Witcher fan, are you not?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. Did you watched all of season 1?
I did.
Did you play
it was
any
really
of the
good.
games?
I started the Witcher 3, the big one.
Yeah.
Did not get very far yet, but
okay.
I'm planning on spending some time there eventually.
Very cool. Have you read any of the books?
I read the prequel, The Last Wish.
Okay. That's like the short story one. Yeah.
Yeah, the short story one.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the show was, the first season was based off of.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that we got from there.
Yeah. I have read The Last Wish.
hmm
I have played a little bit of. I played a lot of Witcher 1, a little bit of Witcher 2, a little bit of Witcher 3.
Cool.
So, yeah. But we've got news and Cobra Kai. Mitch, are you a fan? Have you watched Cobra Kai?
I think I would be a fan if I did watch it.
Okay.
I have not watched it yet, but I have a lot of people telling me to watch it, so
Yeah.
I'm sure I will soon.
Yeah, I am a big fan of Cobra Kai. I watched season 1 when it was on YouTube Red.
hmm
That's how long ago I watched that. And then
Wow.
yeah, season 2 came out on YouTube. They rebranded YouTube Red to YouTube Premium. So I watched Cobra Kai on there, and then season 3 got moved to Netflix, and I watched Cobra Kai season 3 2021 New Year's Eve, watched it all, or New Year's Day, watched it all in one sitting.
Wow.
So
Well done.
yeah, big fan of Cobra Kai. Surprisingly, I have only seen, before I watched Cobra Kai, I had only seen The Karate Kid once. I had never seen 2 or 3
hmm
or any of the other ones.
Now so when are the release dates for these?
Yeah, so
Are
both of
they're
them
both
are
coming out this year?
both coming out quarter 4 of 2021.
Okay, which is like
So like
October,
October,
September.
November, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's really cool, especially kind of going on Cobra Kai, that we got season 3 premiered in January of 2021. And so
Yeah.
we're going to get season 4 real soon.
I wish they'd do that with Stranger Things.
Yeah, Netflix calling you out. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
feel like I live an entire lifetime between
It's
Stranger Things
I was
seasons.
literally thinking about that when I was reading this article of like, but Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And The Witcher has taken a while too for season 2 to come out.
Yeah, but they do a really good job on The Witcher.
Yeah.
And they do a good job on, I mean, there's a lot of special effects and stuff that go
Yeah.
into The Witcher and Stranger Things. So it's understandable.
I get
it's just
that.
kind of, yeah.
I
I mean,
get
I'm
that.
assuming there's some special effects with Cobra Kai, but it's mostly like
It's
live
like,
action.
yeah, it's live action and
Action.
it's a lot of stunts, you know.
Yeah.
When did
Not a lot of CGI special effect type stuff with Cobra Kai. So they should be pumping that. They're still going slow.
Yeah.
If that's the case, they should have a season out right now and do the 4th or 5th
Yeah,
season.
Stranger Things came out 2019. It feels so much longer than that.
That's when the latest season came out?
Yeah, it's July 4th, 2019.
Jeez. We're going to hit 2 years here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not coming out till 2022, last I heard.
Yeah. I don't see anything on it. Like, I'm on the Wikipedia page right now.
Right.
And I don't see anything about a release date. So
I don't think they have one yet, but I think it's projected
I would imagine
for 2022.
2022, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time we get season 4, the guy who plays Mike is gonna have a kid by then. Like,
And a beard.
yeah, and a beard and come on, Netflix, get it together.
What they're doing like a half thumbs up. You know how we called out Universal and Sony?
Yeah.
Netflix is like right in the middle. It's like they're doing good on some things.
They're doing okay. They're just okay, yeah.
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 Average. They're
Average.
moderate. They're moderately.
Netflix sponsor us. You're moderate, like you're moderately interesting like us. Sponsor us. If you want to sponsor the moderately interesting podcast, email us at
moderately interesting 21 at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. I will literally do whatever for your sponsorship.
I won't do whatever, but Aaron will.
I will.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to our next news update. We got a How I Met Your Mother spinoff that was recently announced.
Can I just chime in real quick?
Absolutely.
From the words of Hillary Duff.
Yeah.
Why not take a crazy chance?
So why not do a crazy chance?
Yeah.
Yeah. So How I Met Your Mother spinoff, How I Met Your Father, presumably what is it going to be called? How I Met Your Daddy. How I Met Your Dad.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? How I Met Your Daddy, starring Hillary Duff.
Wow. I have a question.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think about Hillary Duff taking on
So I
this?
really, Hillary Duff is like the love of my life, my first crush.
Hmm.
Always and forever, I will love Hillary Duff. But I really don't care about this at all.
Yeah.
um, if Hillary Duff wasn't the one who's going to star in it, I don't think we'd be talking about this right now.
Right.
But yeah, it just feels like this is like something that's like 5 years late.
Hmm.
And like I know, like even when How I Met Your Mother ended, they were throwing around the idea of How I Met Your Father.
Okay. So they've been playing with it for a while.
They've been playing this for a while, but for whatever reason, they made the pilot for How I Met Your Father. So I guess there was How I Met Your Dad was what it was going to be called. Like on November 15, 2013, it was announced that CBS series would launch How I Met Your Dad, a woman-centric variation. The series possibly would have featured a new bar and would not have tied to the original series. Blah, 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 blah. Meg Ryan was announced to voice the future character. And then on May 14th, 2014, CBS passed on picking up How I Met Your Dad.
Okay. They had Bob Saget was the narrative, right?
Bob
Narrator.
Saget was the narrator. Yeah, it's Meg Ryan would have been the narrator for the first one.
Okay. And
And
they would have
then-
had a different younger actress.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now we've got, so that was How I Met Your Dad. Now this one's called How I Met Your Father.
Hmm.
It looks like this was like in the works. If you count How I Met Your Dad, the pilot that failed to get pick up, this has been in the run since 2013.
Okay.
And then on April 21st, 2021, it was, oh, wait, hang on. This is new information to me. It was announced that the sequel series was ordered by Hulu with Hillary Duff attached to play lead character Sophie.
Okay.
So they're calling it a sequel series.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means we'll, like, is this going to be set in like the bar, like the same bar? Like, I don't know. That'll be interesting to see that they're officially calling this a sequel series now.
Maybe it's like Lillian Marshall's daughter or something.
Yeah, I mean that'd be kind of dumb, but they could do that. They could do that if they want to.
Yeah. I think the idea is already really dumb. So
yeah, no, I think this is
do.
I think this is really dumb.
Yeah.
But I will probably watch the pilot just to see how dumb it is with Hillary Duff in it.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Yeah.
To kind of go along with this. This is for next time. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw the question out right now.
Go ahead, go for it.
Next time, I want you to talk about the top 3 worst endings and the top 3 best endings to a series.
To a series.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what we'll do next time. Since How I Met Your Mother has one of the historically worst endings.
Can we reuse How I Met Your Mother or no?
You can, yes.
Okay.
You can count that in your top 3
All right.
worst endings.
Number 1, How I Met Your Mother. No. I don't know, maybe.
Number 2, your rendition of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that next time. And yeah. What's next?
You know what? Let's just get straight to it, shall we?
Yeah.
Meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes?
The meat and potatoes of it all. Let's talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier series finale.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. Now, my understanding, we haven't really talked about it too much, Mitch, but my understanding is we already have differing opinions on the show, on the episode. I mean,
on the finale.
Yeah, that's so.
Assuming that you like it, then yes, we do.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I do like it. I shouldn't
say that. I liked it. I just was somewhat disappointed. So
okay.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, so I mean, it starts off with we are in New York City, and we see Sam, we see like the silhouette of Sam fly by real quick, whoosh, and we see we kind of like reestablish what's going on. We see Bucky's down on the ground, Sharon Carter's there, and they're all kind of talking, and then Bucky throws the shield against a window, breaks open the window, flies through the window, and then that's when we see, for like the first time, Sam's new Captain America costume. And just real quick, thoughts on the new costume?
I think it's rad. I thought it looked really cool. It's kind of just a combination of what he's used to with the Captain America colors and the star and the shield. I really liked the shield on the back.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
I loved his new costume. I think it looks. I think it's like one of the most comic accurate costumes that they've done on the big screen, or like not on the big screen, obviously, because it's not. It's on TV, but yeah, I think yeah, it's like it wasn't like a big deal because we got some pretty accurate. Like Cap's costume was pretty accurate in the movie. Iron Man looks accurate. Thor, they kind of wasn't like the most accurate. They did it for like that one shot in the beginning of Thor 1, but
Right.
like it looked kind of tacky.
And they kind of messed with it in Thor Ragnarok too. When
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
in the gladiator thing.
yeah, they've been tweaking it ever since then. Because it's just one of those designs that doesn't really work in live action.
A little too cheesy.
Yeah. And like and they've been playing around with it and they've been playing around with different people's costumes for a while. Wanda was another one that they kind of just ignored until they got to WandaVision. But anyways, I really like how they did Sam's costume in this. I think it looks really good. Yeah, it just works really well.
Yeah. I think that's important as far as landing him as the next Captain America, is just making him look the part.
Yeah.
Because we already know he is. He fits everything that Captain America is. He's like a good soul. The way that he's handled situations in the series show that he's a good Captain America. Now we just need to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Physical form.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I just love that they just kept him who he is. I mean, he's still the Falcon, but he's also Captain America. He's still
America. Yeah.
I mean, he's going to go by Captain America now, but he's still got those Falcon qualities. He's got his wings. He's got red. So it was kind of cool that they combined his skill set with the shield.
Yeah.
Because now he's just throwing shields, and flying at the same time. It's cool. It's different.
So going back to the episode, Sam Cap is now trying to save people in the building, and there was like a really weird line that like one of the guys says that I'm sure you caught but might have forgotten about because in the beginning of the episode. So what happened between that and now, which is I thought Captain America was on the moon.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
I feel like that's like something where it's like, are you trying to WandaVision us right now? Is there like actually something behind this?
Is there something going on in the moon?
Yeah, is there actually something going on like with is Steve Rogers on the moon actually for some reason? Like yeah, I don't know. It was something that I took a note on because I was like, that is such a weird thing to say.
Right.
Like,
well, they've said it before. At the first episode, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, doesn't
there's been a reference to Captain America being on the moon.
Isaiah says it, right? Or Isaiah's nephew says that.
He might have said it too, but there's at least there was another one in the very beginning, and I don't remember what it was.
I don't know why people keep saying that. That's so weird. Is there like, yeah, like I thought Captain America was on the moon.
It's probably referring to like a comic book story, or there's something going on up there that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, well, there definitely is because I mean we know Nick Fury isn't on Earth right now.
Yeah, I've heard rumors that Steve Rogers has retired to wherever Nick Fury is.
Interesting.
Since he's old, wrinkly, but we haven't seen him, so we don't know.
Yeah. So, going on, Sam is upstairs. Bucky is downstairs trying to help people get out of the building. Mm-hmm. And that's when Carly calls Bucky on the phone. Or actually, like, somebody actually hands Bucky, like, one of the Flag Smashers hands Bucky a phone and is like,
yeah,
Carly wants to talk to you. Like, yeah. and then Carly and Bucky have a conversation, and I really like that. Bucky was like, "You need to stop this right now. Like, this isn't my first rodeo. Like,
She was
we all
trying to
know."
get him to join her, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, "You need to like." She was kind of getting him just to like stop. Um,
Okay.
and Bucky's like, "Look, like I know how this is going to go down. Like, you could still quit while you're ahead, kind of a thing." And then she's like, "You've never fought." She says something that was like, I thought it was like kind of dumb actually, which was like, she's like, "You never fought for anything bigger than yourself.
Uh-huh.
Like you like have no idea what this is like, what we're trying to do, blah blah blah." And then Bucky responds with, like, I think it was like a really great line of like, "You don't think I've ever fought for something bigger than myself? That's all I ever did. That's all I ever do, and I fell twice." And I really like that because like he absolutely like died twice. He died in World War II, and he definitely fought for something bigger than himself for World War II. And then at the Battle of Wakanda, fighting Thanos, like he was doing that to save the world. He absolutely was fighting for something bigger than himself.
And even just fighting against, like, the scene we have when he's in Wakanda,
Yeah,
he's fighting against himself, basically, trying to get the Winter Soldier brainwashed words and all that kind of stuff out of his brain. He's kind of fighting for something greater
yeah,
there, in a way.
yeah. It's just they were trying to paint Bucky as like somebody who I like. I don't know why like they were trying to do that, but they're trying to paint him as like this like self-centered person who like doesn't understand, doesn't get it. But like Bucky literally has like fought for bigger things than himself all the time. Yeah, so they are at this point. The hostages are getting downstairs. I guess they're not even hostages at this point. They're civilians. They got them downstairs, and they're putting them in like the emergency cars to get out.
And these are like the
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
The decision makers.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like really funny because like they get them in the car, like the bad guy, the flag smasher, pretending to be a cop or what, whatever he's supposed to pretend to be a soldier.
Right.
Gets in the car and he's about to drive away, and then Sharon just walks up, throws a smoke grenade into the car that he's in, and like it looks like he gets like acidic burns on him, and I'm like, that looks extremely painful.
He like melts.
Yeah, he melt like yeah. I
It
remember
was like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
yeah. The first time I watched that, I was like, holy crap! Like that looks
Yeah.
extremely painful. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that happens. The camera kind of goes back to Carly, and Carly is like, "We're gonna kill the hostages. Like we're done." Like, and like her fellow flag smashers are like, "Wait, well, I thought we were, taking them hostage so they won't vote." And he's like, "It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter anymore.
Uh-huh.
Like, we're just gonna kill them." And like, the rest of the flag smashers are like so like we kind of see Carly goes like extremely extreme at this point.
Uh-huh.
And even the flag smashers are like, I don't know about this. Um, oh yeah. So then Bucky is chasing the cars on his motorcycle,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that moment where Bucky just kind of like takes the motorcycle, like drives it into the barricade, and like throws himself off the motorcycle.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, that's gotta hurt.
uh,
Yeah, and then Bucky is kind of fighting them, and he's trying to get like the locks off the car that their hostages are trapped in.
well, they set the car on fire as a distraction to get
Yeah,
him away from the fight.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
They like put them in danger because he'll
He'll let us go.
distract him. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when John freaking Walker shows up
Mm-hmm.
dressed as Captain America. And I gotta say, when I watched that the first time and John Walker comes out, I was like, oh, like I was like, I'm feeling this right now, like.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how did like the last episode 5, made me kind of go like, I kind of actually feel bad for John Walker. I'm not like I'm not pro John Walker, but like I get John Walker now. And Carly, when she sees John Walker, is like, oh hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kill your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to kill anyone like whose life doesn't matter.
Right.
And then like John's like, are you saying that Lamar's life didn't matter? And like I thought that was a pretty cool little
It was kind of it was a redemption arc for him.
Yeah, I mean, very much so, I would say.
Yeah.
And then Carly and Lamar fight for a little bit, and it was really cool because like at that moment you're like, we need him because like he is a super soldier, like he is capable of fighting these people,
Right.
at the very least. And yeah, while they're fighting, John Walker is using his new shield, and it's just getting battered and destroyed by Carly's super soldier punch.
His shield looked a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, it did.
I thought it was going to look like a trash can lid painted
I thought
red
it was
and
going
white
to
and
look
blue.
like, yeah.
But it was like almost a exact replica of the original, just made out of a different material.
Yeah, probably just made out of a trash can.
Which to me, I was kind of like, that's a little. I would have been. It would have been more believable if it was a trash can lid.
Yeah.
For me, just it's like, okay, I guess he's just a world class.
Yeah, apparently he's like the best welder.
Metalsmith.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, when they start fighting, we go back to Captain America, Sam, and he is chasing after a helicopter that's full of hostages, and kind of going a little back and forth of like Cap flies up and they shoot him and he blocks it with the shield, and he kind of like a rinse repeat thing going on for a while,
right?
Until Cap finally takes them out, and the hostages are able to land the helicopter. Yeah, I believe at this point it goes back to Carly and John Walker are still fighting, I think.
I think he's taken on 2 or 3 flag smashers.
Okay, so it might be at this point Carly's fighting Bucky. I'm a little fuzzy right now, even though I just watched it again.
Yeah.
But they're fighting again, and I think it's still John Walker. I think John Walker is still, because Bucky gets pushed off, and he's like down like on the ground floor, and then like John Walker and Carly are fighting above him.
Yeah, they're like on top of a building that's being built.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's the car with hostages that's like kind of sliding down.
Yeah. So while
ready
they're
to fall down.
While they're fighting though, before that happens, Walker and Carly are fighting, and then like Carly like back like kind of like makes like a retreat, and she like slides under like the scaffolding that they're using to build the building.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, when I watched that, I was just like, ouch, you slid on your knees right there. I don't care if you have super soldier serum. that's gonna hurt. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Like, you're not wearing knee guards or anything, Carly. That's gonna hurt. Like,
right.
It's like it's like silly stuff like that like always makes me laugh. Of like, I don't care if you're a superhero, like sliding on your knees is going to hurt. They like in Marvel movies, superhero movies, like people headbutt each other very often, and
all
I'm like,
the time.
That freaking hurts. Like,
yeah. That's like a last resort.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Attack. Yeah. But not in superhero movies. It's a very regular attack.
It's a very regular. My go-to is I'm going to headbutt you.
And then smile at you with bloody teeth.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. All right, so we have.
So that's when the car is going to like fall, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
John Walker's kind of tested. Does he keep fighting them, or does he save?
The car? Yeah, and when I was watching that for the second time, I was reminded of what Lamar says. Like, in the heat of the moment, you always make the right choice.
Yeah,
and I think that's true, because at this point, Walker does give up his vendetta revenge against Carly, and he goes in to save the car.
Well, and he's there for blood originally.
Yeah, and he was, but then he's like, I need to go save these people because they need me. And I think really that's where the redemption really, kind of gets solidified for Walker at that point.
Right. Yeah.
My opinion. And at that point, though, he's pulling it up a little bit, and then like the flag smashers start attacking him again. And so he has to kind of like defend himself, hold them off. And that's when the car is falling, and it looks like it's going to fall. And that's when Sam comes up, and he's able to, like, with the shield, stop it, and like with the thrusting power of his wings and stuff, is able to push it back up. And that was really cool, because I was just like, oh, like the super soldier couldn't stop it, but like the guy who's not a super soldier was able to save the day right there.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. I really like that. Um, Carly and the Flag Smashers drop some smoke grenades and they run away. And now Cap, Bucky, and Walker go chase after them. And they kind of go under a tunnel.
Do they all go separate ways, or they get
Yeah.
split up somehow?
So what happens is there's a fork in the
Bucky
road.
and John Walker go somewhere.
Yeah, so Bucky and Walker take a right, and Cap keeps going straight, and that's where we kind of move over, and we see Sharon Carter's there, and she meets with Carly, and that's when Sharon is revealed to be the power broker. So you were absolutely 100% right, Mitch.
Nailed it.
You did. Yep. And yeah, so there was kind of like this you need to like join back up with me, Carly, because you're kind of dumb, kind of don't know what you're doing. And she's like, no, I don't need you. I don't need any of this, blah, blah, blah.
And we find out that Sharon has sent I don't remember the guy's name, the French dude.
Yeah, George St. Pierre, right? Like, yeah. I don't know if that's his character name, but that's his actual name, I believe.
Right. She sent him and like set him up with weapons and everything to help in the cause.
Yeah, exactly. He was the mole.
Yeah.
And
is she trying to get pardoned the whole time? Sharon Carter? Is that like her? That's her angle.
That's part of her angle. Yeah, she wants to get the pardon.
Okay, because I know she talked about it in the previous episodes. But
yeah. And so Sharon kills George St. Pierre, and then Carly shoots Sharon.
Sharon, yeah. In the gut.
Ah.
And then Sam comes in. Intervenes. They start fighting. Carly's like ticked that he's not fighting back.
Yeah. And she disarms Cap. Shield is on the floor, and she's got a gun pointed right at him. And that's when Sharon comes in and bang, bang, bang. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's just one bang, but dramatic effect. Right. Yeah, she shoots Carly. Carly dies in Sam's arms.
She puts a few bullets in her, if I remember right.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So she dies.
And then we go to Walker and Bucky, and they cut off the Flag Smashers who are fleeing. They got like the soldiers and cops surrounding them, so they get arrested. And that's basically it right there with them. Walker quotes Abraham Lincoln, which was kind of funny. And Bucky's like, Abraham Lincoln? He's like, yeah, he's a great man. Like, not when you say him, not when you quote him. Like, so there's still a little bad blood there, but it's an acceptable amount, I think, at this point.
Well, then we go back to the Flag Smashers that were captured.
Yeah, and they all die in a car bomb.
Yeah. Well, they think they're getting away because the guy closing the door says "One world, one people."
One world, one people.
And then
kaboom! And then the camera zooms out, and then like it turns into like a news report, and then like that zooms out, and we're back at the raft, and we see Zemo watching it and kind of smiles.
It was his butler that set it off, right?
Yeah.
So he did his job getting rid of the super soldiers.
Yeah. Sam talks with the senators, and they're just like, hey, we need to make compromises. We need to work together.
You need to do better.
Yeah, you need to do better, kind of a thing. Kind of like a touching moment that Captain America is back, and he's looking out for the little man.
That was a really good scene.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
That kind of, I don't know, it just showed the American spirit of Captain America and just kind of taking his spot, not just as a fighter, like an Avenger. He was more of a diplomat. Yeah,
exactly. It really showed
having his say.
Again, kind of going like what I said last week. It like really showed that Sam's superpower is his empathy.
Yeah,
and we see that again today. Then we go. It's kind of winding down now. It kind of does like a Return of the King thing where we get like 5 minutes of just like we're gonna finish off all these different character stories.
Yeah.
So we go to Walker, and Walker tries on his U.S. agent suit, Looks pretty cool. Looks very similar to his Captain America suit, but it is a little
Black.
different. Yeah, it's black. I don't think like the red, white, and blue goes up as high as it did on his original one.
Yeah.
So I think it's like just minor little things that look different about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they call him U.S. Agent in that one. That's where Val is recruiting him, and she tells him, make sure you pick up the phone when we call.
And he's like, I'm back.
Yeah, he's really excited about it, and interesting to see where he goes from here. Because I kind of get the feeling that he's going to still have some darker storylines that he's going to have to conquer.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. And then I'm interested in seeing what happens. We'll kind of do like our thoughts about it once we're done, which is just a little bit. But then we go to Bucky, and Bucky meets back up with his old friend, and he tells him the truth of what happens. And it's a little too ambiguous for my liking of what happens, of like how how his friend kind of accepts that, or like, are they still friends? Are they not friends anymore?
He does see him in the sushi bar later on.
Yeah, but he doesn't go in and talk to him or join him.
I think he's just checking on him, making sure he's in good hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when.
Yeah. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, and then we're basically done. Bucky and Sam meet up. They have a barbecue at Sam's place.
Mm-hmm.
All of Sam's friends or family are there. They're taking pictures with Captain America. Looks really fun. And they kind of get the ending scene, and instead of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we get Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So, talking about the series finale of Captain America and the Winter Soldier, which is good. I like that. I thought that was really cool.
Right.
And then we get the post-credit scene of Sharon Carter getting her pardon.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets her old job back, which I'm guessing when they mean old job back, I'm guessing they're talking about the CIA, not SHIELD.
Right.
And like 2 seconds after she gets the pardon, she makes a call and she's like, hey, I got the goods I can sell now. I got weapons, secrets, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's the end. That's Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
And that's the end of the series.
That's the end of the series, yeah.
Season 1, I guess, unless they do more.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of bringing us to another, plot point is not plot point, but point that we want to talk about is not even 24 hours after the series finale, season finale, we get the announcement of Captain America 4 is now in production in the works. Right. And clearly that's going to pick up where this show left off.
Yeah. So with Sam as Captain America.
Yeah.
The storyline.
Presumably Bucky will be in it, although, didn't make any mention of Bucky in what I saw, but again, presumably he'll be a main character in that.
Yeah. Yeah, him and Sharon Carter and...
Yeah, it seems like...
a lot of those guys.
Yeah, it just seems like this is like the prelude to the movie now.
Yeah.
General thoughts on the series finale, this episode, and the series as a whole. I enjoyed it. There were some problems with it. The Flag Smashers did not feel like a real threat for the movie or for the show, excuse me.
Right.
I just kind of felt like it was dragging on a little bit. Carly was a character that, like, I don't think they got like 80% of the way there of what they were trying to go for, but I don't think they ever got her to like 100% of what they wanted her to be. Because like I get like what she's doing, I feel empathy for what she's doing. But like personally, I don't feel like I could ever like be like, yes, I 100% accept you for like that.
Right. She's kind of hard to care about.
Yeah, and it's like weird because it's like the opposite is true with like Baron Zemo. Of like I'm like much more empathetic towards Baron Zemo. It's like, oh, I get like where you're coming from, and like I can see myself in a weird way, like being like, no, I agree with you, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, even back to like Civil War.
Back to like
like all he's been through. It's like I get it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like there's a lot I really like. I mean, I really like Sam as Captain America. I think it's great. I think I love the relationship that Bucky and Sam kind of had to like cultivate and work on, and it feels very earned at the end of it.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I like all that. I really like, like the character moments that they did. Another one that's weird is Sharon. Sharon feels like it's just out of left field, and it doesn't really. It just feels like there's too big of a leap to make for like why her character is acting the way she's acting.
Right.
So like I think we need a little more substance to close that gap so we can figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a theory about Sharon that I'll talk about after I hear your thoughts, Mitch.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, I think it was fun. I think it was good, and I think knowing now that we have Cap 4 coming out and is in the works, it makes me kind of retroactively look at the show and go, okay, this was all building up for Cap 4, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like that was a fun setup story that's setting up another story.
Yeah, it's like an origin story for Sam becoming
Exactly.
Captain America.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree with most everything. All the problems, and just to kind of slim it down, I think I was really impressed with where they went with the main characters, with Bucky and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I think that both of them had great character development, and I think we got to know them a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And the fight scenes were great. Everything that they were a part of, I thought was really good and really well done. The places where I think it lacked was with the Flag Smashers. Zemo was good, but I wish they kind of teased everything. The trailer and everything about the series was kind of like made it look like he was the main villain, and he was barely in it, to be honest. He did have some.
Right.
I liked everything they did with him, but I was kind of like, dang it, I wish I would have seen more of him.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think he will be more of a threat
right.
in the next Captain America.
I was gonna say I think part of the problem with MCU stuff is like it's hard to, and maybe this is just me too, but it's hard to judge something. It's hard to judge the merits of something on just its own because it is so connected with other stuff.
Yeah.
So
that wasn't that big of a deal. It was just kind of like I wish I would have seen more of him.
Right. Yeah, and I feel that way too.
Yeah. And then the biggest gripes that I had, I'll start with the second.
Okay.
The second one, because the first one is big. The second was Sharon Carter. I thought, like you said, I think it was kind of like, I like that she was the power broker. You could kind of tell, but it was just like there wasn't any context. It was just, I'm the power broker. Like everything that happened in that last episode felt kind of rushed with her.
Yeah.
And I always wish with any season of any show that there was more.
Right.
The ones that I'm enjoying, I always wish that there's more. And this one in particular, I wish there was more episodes to kind of explore that just a little bit more, just to kind of give us more of where she's coming from. And I think that they could have done that better, but it's fine. I like that she's kind of more of a bad character now. That's going to be interesting for the future because they trust her on both sides now. She's on the fence, literally. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the future. And my biggest problem with this series was the John Walker redemption story. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. And the reason why is because I don't know anything about US Agent and his character in the comics, so I don't know if that's something that has happened, if he's like a good guy or bad guy. But they made him seem like such a bad, hateable character all the way through episode 5. Episode 5, I do agree, you feel bad for him, but I thought that they were going to go a different direction with him. And I kind of it's the same thing I felt with Kylo Ren's redemption. It just felt rushed. It was like, let's fit his redemption in the end of this, series, in the last episode. And I just think that he made his decision by killing that dude with everything that Lamar had said to him. I think he kind of went against a lot of the stuff that he said, and just kind of went rogue, and just he made bad decisions. I'm glad he made up for them, but I just feel like, again, this is where I'm like, if they would have had 3 or 4 more episodes, I feel like it would have been much more natural. It just didn't feel natural. It was just like, and now I'm good. And then he, like, at the very end, he walks right past the senators that, like, kicked him out of the cool club. And it's like, he's not supposed to be there, in a suit. I don't know. I don't know how all that worked out, but there was just some issues with him. I wish they would have kind of kept him as a bad guy when he's fighting with Carly and trying to decide to save the people. I'm glad he saved the people, but it didn't seem like there was enough at stake I wish that he was, like, almost about to kill Carly because he was getting his butt kicked. And I wish that he was, like, about to smash her head in like he did with the other person before he went and saved the van.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was kind of just like, I'll just go save this van really quick, and then we'll keep fighting. Like, nobody was like on their last leg with him. He wasn't punching someone to death, and then, like, he didn't stop himself from going too far. He just stopped fighting and then went and started helping the people in the van.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of like an empty redemption story for me. Not a lot of, I don't know. There was too much before that made it seem like he was bad, and then it was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm a good guy. So, yeah. So that's my thoughts. Overall, it was great. I thought the whole show was good. Characters were good, interesting, fun.
Yeah, and it's like, again, that kind of goes with, like, what I was saying, where it's like it's hard for me to review something like a Marvel property just by itself, because I do think that the redemption arc for Walker is going to be explored even more in whatever future projects he's going to be in.
Right.
So, like, I'm thinking, like, that is not the end of his redemption arc. That is just the start of it. Like,
yeah. And for me, thinking optimistically in the future, that's what I'm hoping for, is that they explore him more, because I liked where they were going, and I'm hoping that it wasn't just a quick redemption and now he's a good guy.
Right.
I think that it would have been cool with him to have kind of like an anti-hero arc. He kind of does, but then it kind of gets pushed to the back in that episode.
I think that would have been cool too, because, like, it could
like
be
the Punisher, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say it could be talking more about, like, the hypocrisy of the government, of, like, the government's like, we don't do this, and then they turn around and instantly do, like, the thing that they said they're not going to do.
Right.
So I think there's, like, still more to be explored with John Walker, and I'm interested in, especially if we get, like, a Thunderbolts show or something like that, or whatever. I'm very interested in seeing what happens with John Walker and stuff.
Right.
So
one question I have for the end of this series is Zemo, when he killed the Flag Smashers, when he had them offed, I don't think he knows that John Walker has taken the serum. I think that in his brain, the only person that has super soldier serum is Bucky.
Yeah.
And they've kind of parted ways peacefully.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Yeah. Do you think Zemo is going to be the villain in Cap 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he'll play a part. I don't know if he'll be the main villain, but I think he'll play a part. And I think he'll be going after John Walker.
Okay.
And I don't know how that'll play out.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Because he's kind of trying to kill all the super soldiers, right?
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what, like, the basic plot for Captain America 4 is going to be. And, like, I guess the other thing too is, like, it's been announced that Captain America 4, and I'm putting quotation marks around this. Nobody can see it but me. But should we really call this Captain America 4? Is this just a new Captain America movie? Like,
yeah, I've never really numbered the Captain America movies. It's always just been Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America, the First Avenger, Captain America, Civil War. I've never really numbered them.
Okay. I
But
mean, like I definitely have in my head, but
yeah,
like Marvel hasn't. Like you're not going to find Captain America 2.
yeah,
You're going to find Captain America the Winter Soldier. You're not going to find Captain America 3. But yeah, like in my head it was definitely like Cap 2, Cap 3, Cap 1.
and I think that kind of makes it. I think not labeling it with numbers kind of just gives it like Captain America's your character,
Yeah.
and then you have like the storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
It
But
kind
like
of opens it up.
so like it's funny because like we definitely had Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3.
Right.
Iron Man's the only one. I think like for a hot minute they like called Thor 2, like they called Dark World Thor 2 before
Yeah.
it got like the title of Dark World, but like I don't think they've done that with anything else. So
I
yeah.
do feel like early on they will usually give it the title of like the number of whatever movie they're on, and
Right.
then they'll, especially for Captain America, Thor, those movies, they'll say like, yeah, Thor 3 is coming out, and then they'll be like, it's called Thor Ragnarok,
Right.
and they'll probably do the same with Captain America.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Iron Man, that was 1, 2, and 3.
Iron Man was definitely Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. Yeah, so like I'm interested to see like what Captain America is going to be called, like what the movie's going to be called. I mean,
Yeah.
Captain America. I mean, are we going to get Captain America Serpent Society? I doubt it, but that'd be funny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where we go from there. I wonder if we'll get Civil War 2. That would be crazy. Actually, I don't know. Like, Civil War 2 is an actual comic book series or a comic book
Uh-huh.
storyline. And Sam is Captain America in that storyline, and he has a big role in that one.
Right.
Yeah. So before I forget, I have a theory about Sharon Carter.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, it wasn't Sharon Carter at all.
It was a face changer. What are they called?
It was Agatha all along.
Oh, Agatha. What are the space people called?
Scrolls.
Scrolls.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's my real theory. Is I think it's a scroll.
Right.
I think it because like that character it feels so different and like it just does not feel like the same at all. That I wonder if that it's
Kind
a
of
scroll.
like when what it was at Infinity War when Nick Fury is a scroll.
That's Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh, that's right. Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah,
Because then we find out the real Nick Fury is in space,
is in space.
sitting on
Yeah,
a fake beach. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah,
we know.
and he did not act like the real Nick Fury.
Yeah, and we know that Secret Invasion is coming down the pipeline.
Right.
So yeah.
So do you think that the real Sharon Carter exists somewhere?
I don't know exactly. Secret Invasion is gonna be weird because like in the MCU so far, the Skrulls have been like good guys.
Uh-huh.
But in Secret Invasion, like the Skrulls are like the bad guys, and it's like really scary, like what they're doing. Like, in fact, they have the Secret Invasion storyline in the cartoon Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. You can watch on Disney Plus.
Uh-huh.
We're not sponsored by Disney Plus, but we would like to be.
Yeah, Disney Plus, if you'd like to sponsor us, please shout out.
Yeah.
Just let us know.
Yeah,
We'd be
let us
happy
know.
to.
We'd be happy to take your money and tell people to watch Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard the scrolls are different
Yeah.
in comics.
Yeah, they're just kind of like more like at least for Secret Invasion, they're just like the bad guys. And
Yeah.
like they swap people, like they take Captain America and they like capture him and then they put a Skrull in as Captain America
In
and
his
like
place.
in his place. And
Is
yeah.
that the Secret Invasion series that we keep hearing about?
Yeah.
They just cast Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, so yeah, we're getting a secret. Oh, I meant to add that to the docket, but I forgot. But yeah, like the Secret Invasion is coming. Like we know that. Like that is something that they're actively working on right now. And I'm wondering if this is like, we'll look back at this and be like, oh yeah, like that was like one of the first hints that we got for Secret Invasion. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They can do a lot of stuff with that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And with the scrolls, I mean, it's kind of part of a lot of storylines where you have a group of people aliens, whatever. And then you have and they're usually somewhat peaceful. And then you've got a radicalized group that
it'll be
kind of
interesting to see.
Causes problems.
Yeah, what they're going to do.
That's what happened in Guardians of the Galaxy, the very first one with the Creel, the blue dude. Like his people were peaceful, and then what was his name? I just watched it. The bad guy, the main bad guy. But so maybe we'll see something like that with the scroll, where there's just a bad batch of them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll be talking about next week is
Bad Batch next week. Can't wait for that.
Yes. We'll probably have that one out on the Thursday as well, but we'll be watching it.
We'll be watching
when it comes out.
We'll be talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That kind of wraps it up for this week.
That wraps it up this week, yeah. And yeah, so next week going to be our very special episode. It's all Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
For our May the 4th episode.
May the 4th be with you.
Will be released at some point on May 6th, I think. But yes, it's all Star Wars. We're going to be talking Bad Batch. We're going to be talking about Star Wars. We're going to be talking about Jedi, Sith, Han Solo, Chewbacca, everything Star Wars that you can name. We'll be talking about it at some point.
Mm-hmm. At some point.
Yeah, special episode. You're not going to want to miss that one.
Mm-hmm.
Before we sign off, just remember, if you have your questions that you want us to answer, go ahead and send us those questions. You can send them directly to us through Instagram at Moderately Interesting Podcast. You can email us at moderatelyinteresting21@gmail.com, and at our Twitter handle, which is at moderatelyint, the number 3. Any one of those, send us a question. We will get to it as soon as we can. Make sure to like and subscribe, people. We are looking to get that first real sponsor, so we need you guys to help us out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we get a shout out from Elon Musk.
Otherwise, how are we going to get Elon Musk to be Iron Man?
Yeah.
It's only through you guys spreading the word, sharing it with your friends and family, playing it for your dog at night when he's trying to sleep. It's the only way we're going to reach the audience that we need to get Elon Musk to be Spider-Man.
And I think 6 episodes deep, we've kind of come to the conclusion that the purpose of this podcast is not only to inform you of everything going on out there, it's to help and motivate Sir Elon Musk to become Iron Man.
That's our mission in life.
If we failed, then we have failed.
Once Elon Musk becomes Iron Man, we will stop making the show.
At 10,000 episodes.
Yeah.
We will go forever.
Yeah.
Until that happens.
Basically, is what we're saying is...
We may not have the traction now, but we will.
Yeah. And only you can help us get there.
Uh-huh.
Only you can help us.
Like, share, rate, review.
Subscribe.
Ask questions.
Share it with your friends and ask questions and...
Put it on repeat so that it looks like we're getting a ton of listens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just put it on repeat. Turn the volume down while you go to sleep.
When you go to sleep, just put it on repeat. Turn the volume down. I mean, you're helping us and you're not even hurting yourself, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the least you can do.
Yeah. And, let us know when you do that and you'll get a shout-out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll give you a shout-out. Anyways, until then, guys, we'll see you next week. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Mitch.
Thank you. You have been listening to the Moderately Interesting Podcast. Make sure to tip your lifeguards. Bye-bye.